Well, hello and welcome to a special edition of This Month in Hamilton. We're recording this on December 4th, 2024. I want to start out by thanking WBCB 1490 AM for allowing us, I think this is the third or fourth time we've been now at the Hamilton Township Animal Shelter to highlight some of the animals we have available for adoption. And I know it's a special time of year now too, and what better gift to bring home to loved ones than a new loved one, whether that's a cat or a dog. And I know we've had some more exotic animals in the past too, but really hope you consider adopting some of the animals you see here today, or just stopping by to check out some of the other animals they have. But truthfully, as we get into the holiday season, wishing you and yours a happy holiday, but a great gift for your family is to bring a new member of the family home. That being said, there's a lot going on at the Hamilton Township Animal Shelter. I'm joined by Chris and Danielle, as we have been the last few times. And so, Chris, just a little bit talking about, I know there's some renovation work especially that's going to be going on. It's part of our continued and your team's continued commitment to keep this facility up to snuff. So what's going on at the shelter this month?
Yeah, absolutely, Mayor. So a couple of years ago, and like all buildings, there needs to be constant maintenance and upgrades, and we want to make sure that that the animals are living in the best healthy environment that that we can provide, and also stay up to date with state codes and regulations. And part of that is just the wear and tear of the runs itself. So what we're doing is resurfacing all of the kennel runs that the dogs utilize, and that's where they live. So we have a contractor coming in for the next 2 weeks, starting on this coming Monday. What is it, December 9th? They're going to sandblast the walls, remove all of the old paint that's been on there, and then recoating with a kind of polyurethane coating that will hopefully be stronger than the paint coating that we've had in the past. So we did this actually back during the pandemic in 2020. We had all the runs repainted and resurfaced, but because of wear and tear, the dogs, between their nails, scratching, jumping, it's just normal wear and tear. So now it's the time that we have to go back and redo that. So that's something that we're working with this vendor to do for all 36 of our runs, since we have 36 runs here, and they'll get a real nice fresh coat of paint, sandblasted down, so that way we can get down to that our initial cinder block layer, and then recoat, and hopefully that'll last a little bit longer than the 3 years that our previous coat did. So
a lot of work, right? And
yes.
People are hearing sandblasting, they're thinking of dogs, right? Yes. But the idea is the dog's not there as the sandblasting's going on.
Exactly.
Right?
That's a really good point. And they're doing construction, so the dogs can't be in the kennel when that's happening. And it's really, since we have two different sides of the shelter, so for our residents who haven't been here, we have two different wings for the shelter, and we're going to do each wing separately, but those dogs that need to go elsewhere. So we're hoping that our residents and our community members will help us out, and we're really asking for a big plea to kind of do a temporary foster situation, really just for a week at a time, or however long that that they can bring a dog into their homes to help kind of offset costs from us for having to put them in a private kennel, but then also just giving us the dogs a better environment, especially right before the holidays. And it helps us, and and Danielle can expand on this more, know a little bit more about the dog's behavior and how they behave in a home environment, so that way we can kind of update our assessments and behavioral notes to make sure that they're placed in the most appropriate home. And I don't know if you want to kind of expand a little bit on that too.
Yeah, just before you do, Danielle. So foster really at this time a huge win, triple win, quadruple win. Not only for the animal to get into a home right before it's hopefully permanently adopted.
Yes.
For the foster to have that love and companionship, if for just a week, great. If for longer, great. Help the township and the taxpayers here kind of avoid some of the costs of having to privatize, board that animal for a week, right? And then obviously gets the animal out of the shelter so we can get that construction going as quickly and as efficiently as possible. So more cost savings there. So a quadruple win if you can help us foster, right, Danielle?
Absolutely. The dogs getting to know how they are in a home. Many of them, we don't have that background or history, so getting to know how they are in a home and having that feedback from our fosters is huge in getting them adopted.
Okay, so if, like I said, great time to adopt, But if you can't adopt, or you're thinking you may want to adopt, right, and you just want a dating relationship for a week or two, fostering's that dating relationship. So if people are listening to this, watching it, what's the way they can reach out and figure out whether they can be a foster or how to be a foster? What goes into that?
Sure, we have our foster applications on our website, hamiltonnj.com/animal shelter. Just click on foster, fill out the application, comes right to us. You just digitally type in all your information, it gets emailed right to us, and then we'll follow up with a phone call and try to make a good match. We realize that a lot of our potential fosters have pets at home. So ideally, you should be able to keep, remember, this is short term that we're asking initially, that you should be able to keep them separate. So we're not asking, yes, there's meet and greets if we have dogs that don't get along with other dogs, or maybe they're selective or things of that nature. We'll go case by case in which animal and try to make a good match for them. But they should have the ability to keep them separate when they're not home and things like that.
Okay, so and a lot of people who do foster have done this before, right? But if you're new, like you're talking about, Danielle, there's all sorts of things to consider before you actually take the dog home.
And all of our, so I should point out, all of the dogs are vaccinated and protected, so there's not a great risk of exposure to their resident pets or anything like that. We would supply, they've already been vetted. We'll supply with any food that they need, a crate if they, obviously. I think ideally setting them up for success is crating
Yes.
them when they first get into the home. So we have crates on hand that we can loan to the foster during that foster period.
All right, perfect. So again, if you want to foster, go to the website, hamiltonnj.com/animal shelter, fill out the foster application, and somebody will be reaching out to you to look to foster. Now I think we get to a more enjoyable part of the show, right?
Yeah.
Which is looking at some of the animals you have available for adoption, or especially at this time, maybe foster, right?
Yeah,
And I know
absolutely.
we've been talking about fostering, but it's not just this time of year that
Yeah.
we're looking for fosters. It's at any time of the year.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. It's a huge help for us, throughout the year. This is our big push right now, but it's definitely something that is helpful. Maybe if now's not the right time, maybe when the weather's a little bit better, we'll always take a foster.
Yeah, so we got a big guy joining us today.
Yes.
Who's our first guest here?
This is Doug.
And so what is Doug? What kind of
He's
mix?
a horse. No.
Yes. He's look, my
Doug.
4-year-old could definitely ride him as a horse, right?
Yes, he's a big guy, but he is very playful. Michaela, how would you describe Doug?
He's a lot of fun. He's a bit wimpy, despite his size. He's good with kids, dogs.
Gentle
cats.
giant, so to
He is.
speak, right?
Yeah, he is.
And I could see, look, he's got new people around him, right? But that tail's still wagging.
He
So,
was actually our Oktoberfest dog.
Oh,
So
wow.
He went to the Oktoberfest around all the crowds. He did very well. He's a good boy.
do we have an idea roughly how old Doug is?
3.
3? All right, so he's got a long, good life
Sit.
ahead of him.
Sit.
Yeah.
Sit down. You're being crazy. Sit.
And anything else about Doug? Good with other dogs,
He
not good?
does go on pack walks. Obviously, we always recommend an introduction with any resident pets, but potentially he could live with another dog.
Mm-hmm.
He loves to go for walks. He's just energetic. So you need somebody who's strong who can handle him because, he's a
Because
big
he's
guy.
a horse, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a gentle giant,
But he's
right?
a gentle giant. He's sweet.
he's gonna in these cold months, he'll snuggle up with you. It looks
Yeah.
like and keep you warm at night too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it looks like he'll really enjoy that. But so calm right now too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Not camera shy either,
No.
right?
No,
No.
not at all.
Yeah.
He's definitely ready to go on a walk. So, somebody who, very active, this would be a great option for sure.
He could stand to lose a couple pounds, so any foster who wants to take him out for walks and shed a little of that.
I think he's complaining. He's saying, "No, I want to keep. This is a great time of year for snacks, right? Don't talk to me about losing weight.
That's nice.
Yeah. He's saying, "Don't talk to me about losing
Right,
weight."
but,
So,
yeah, you're a good boy.
anything else we should let people know about Doug?
No, he's a really good dog. He's
All
been
right.
here a while.
All right.
He has been here a while. I don't know. I
Yeah.
think that his size probably scares people off, but he's one of the well-behaved, good kid, good dogs that to take with you and have a walk with.
And so I just want to talk about being here for a while, right? You've recently had some success with dogs who have
Yes.
been, quote unquote, long-term residents and finding their forever home. So
Yes.
don't get scared off just because
No.
somebody's a long-term resident here.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Stella just went home, I think, last week. She was here for 2 years and 2 months.
Yeah.
Erin spoke with his or her adopter yesterday, and she's doing great. Taco was one.
Manny, our bike case
Manny
dog.
went home, and then just today, Gwen hasn't been here that long, but she's been here a year maybe.
Okay.
And she just was adopted a couple hours ago. So.
Wow, yeah. So don't let a long-term scare you away. Obviously, we could see how gentle Doug is, right? No real barking. He only got upset when we talked about him losing weight. So as long as you don't talk about that and you feed him, he's going to be happy.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Well, thank you so much, Doug.
Thanks, Doug. See you, buddy. He does not know where the camera is, obviously.
Yes.
You'll send the next one in? I know.
Yeah.
The dogs get fed very well. Everybody eats twice a day. They got lots of snacks and treats. So majority of our dogs do tend to gain weight when they're here.
Yeah, just because they don't have the freedom to run around in a yard for hours and hours too.
Yeah.
And
Right?
we try to get them, walked as much as possible, and that's even if you're not able to take an animal home with you, even temporary or permanently. Volunteering is always great, and we're always looking for volunteers to help walk dogs or help socialize the cats. And the more even if you're not necessarily comfortable with some of these bigger dogs, we do work. We have staff that we can work with you to get you more comfortable and hopefully move folks up and our volunteers up to handle all of our your dogs that are
You'll
available
definitely
for
gain
volunteer.
experience, yeah. Coming in and walking our dogs, you'll become a pro in no time.
Yes.
Now, obviously, you're looking for fosters, looking for volunteers. Do you have any, if people are wanting to work full-time, part-time, do you have any positions open right now here?
Yeah, so we are. We're always, kind of on a rolling basis. We do accept applications for, part-time attendants, animal attendants. If depending on the year or when things come available, even full-time attendants. But right now, we also have a part-time volunteer coordinator is something that we're looking for, and we're currently interviewing for. So if you have, good, kind of community experience or volunteer experience, coordination event type experience, that's what we're looking for. So, obviously ideally with somebody who has animal experience as well, because we really want to expand our volunteer program, and also to take stuff off Danielle's plate, but really just to make sure that that volunteer program gets the attention it really deserves and get our folks
Should be
out
great
in the
with
community.
people too. Yeah.
Yes, well, that's
Yeah,
the
you
other
gotta
thing, too,
communicate
yes.
a
I
lot
know
with
everybody
people.
comes in and they love animals. They want to help animals, but we're in a people business too.
Yeah. Well,
This
who's
is-
this that's so excited?
This is Aries.
Aries.
Aries?
He's giving kisses galore over
So
here, huh?
she's a young girl. She came in. She was one of three.
Okay.
I believe her owner lost their home,
Oh,
so she
okay.
could no longer
Oop.
care for her. She has turned around tremendously. When she came in, she was very, very fearful, would bark at a lot of strangers, and she was just very under-socialized. But you can see she's gained that while she's been here. She's
Confidence,
been, yeah,
right?
Yep.
I mean, she's got a bunch of strangers
Yeah,
now with
yep.
her and doesn't even give a blink to us. Just wants to make new friends, apparently, in her
Yeah.
Christmas decoration. But she looks again, right? She just wants to give lots of kisses there.
Yeah, she obviously is a big friend of Noelle's.
Yeah. And then energetic, right?
Yeah.
So clearly energetic. So is there a certain type of house or type of owner that Aries should have?
Sure, somewhat strong, obviously.
Yes.
She's believe she's a pit Rottweiler mix. Is that right? Yeah. So she's still a puppy. I think she's under a year. So she just
Oh, so she's
needs-
got puppy energy.
Yeah, she's got puppy energy. She
Yeah.
needs lots of training, lots of socialization. We don't want, you don't want to just keep her in the home and not expose her to anything. Like puppies need socialization. They need to experience the world. So she hasn't been here too long. She's learned a lot in a short time.
Yeah. And I see a fan of AC/DC too. So she likes good music too.
Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome. So, but is she going to get much bigger for anybody looking?
Probably not.
Yeah, it's probably full. I mean, looks again not as big as Doug, right? But still,
Right.
Still-
She's still a big girl. Yeah.
yeah, still a
Decent
big
size.
girl, right? She's got that puppy energy. So you need someone strong, as you said, to handle that.
Yeah.
And for walks and things like that too.
Yep.
And also have the face to accept all the kisses she'll
Yeah.
give too, right? Because it looks like that's just what she keeps wanting to do. Awesome.
Thank you, Noelle.
Thanks, Noelle. Well, I think we're going to take a short break right now, and then we come back. We'll have a few more guests we want to highlight for you today.
Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org. Merrill Reese here to tell you about my good friends at Haldeman Ford Subaru on Route 33 in Hamilton Township. For outstanding sales and service, you can depend on the folks at Haldeman Ford Subaru for the best value on new and pre-owned Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, along with a great selection of value-priced new and pre-owned Subarus. And no one offers the service that Haldeman does in their huge, state-of-the-art service facility. Service so great that many area municipalities and commercial fleets get their service performed by Haldeman Ford Subaru. From Langhorne to Princeton, folks like you to commercial fleets trust the name Haldeman for sales and service. Haldeman Ford Subaru, Route 33 in Hamilton Township. Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org.
Well, welcome back. Want to again thank WBCB 1490 AM. You can't see, but opening the door right now, we've got Roscoe joining us, right?
Yes.
Yep, this is Roscoe.
So what kind of dog is Roscoe?
He's a very shy dog.
A very shy dog. He's checking everything out right now.
He's
Hey,
a mixed
bud.
hound.
Yeah, probably a hound pit mix.
Okay. He looks like he's smelling everything. So there's that hound part of him. Absolutely. And he looks pretty young. Is this full size?
I would say he's full size. He can stand to gain. I know one dog is overweight. This one's a little underweight. He can stand to gain a little bit of weight. He's on the thinner side, but he is still a very young dog.
Okay.
He's grown a bit since he's come in. I think he came in with running at large with another dog, another similar hound actually. He came in with Georgia, right? No, the other dog, Rooster. So Roscoe and Rooster. Rooster's since been adopted.
Yeah,
but
we had
he-
Rooster on a previous show.
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah. So that Roscoe is a little less socialized, a little more nervous with strangers. So it's
Okay.
just taken a little effort with the staff to socialize him. But you can see he seems much more happy now.
Yeah, as
buddy?
you said, very calm, right? I mean, we just had Aries on who's jumping up everywhere, giving kisses, got that puppy energy, right? Roscoe, right, just checking everything out, but very calm, right?
Right.
And so what kind of house do you think Roscoe would be good for?
An active household.
Active?
Most dogs enjoy an active household because then,
Just things to
you
do
get
and play with and
exercise
exercise, right?
Yeah, but, he's shy to start. Once he knows you, though, he does get rambunctious as well.
Okay, all right. Kids, do we know of any things with
I think
kids?
because of his nervous nature this time, I would probably say older kids, not young kids. Because
Okay.
Over 10, maybe.
Yeah.
Over 10? Yeah. That they're a decent size and can handle him and
And
things
little
like that.
kids tend to be sporadic and run around like crazy, and
Oh,
he
yeah.
might make him nervous.
Yeah. Look, my 4-year-old likes to pet every dog she sees,
Yeah.
right? But not every dog wants to be pet by a 4-year-old either. So, awesome. Well,
But yeah,
thank
he's
you, Roscoe. Anything else about Roscoe we
No.
want to highlight right now?
Just come see him and come save him. This is a life you can save.
It's okay.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Making some-
See, he was a little nervous, so yeah.
Yeah, he's working on his basic manners. So
Yeah.
Continue with that.
no, he's been good. Thank you, Roscoe.
Hi, Roscoe.
Now I want to talk a little bit about some partnerships, right? And there's just a great story we put out on social media about a dog coming into the shelter, being trained, and then ultimately, and we're going to talk about that in a second, right? Because I know we've got another guest here that's really wagging his tail and excited to come in. So we'll talk about partnerships in a second.
Okay.
Who we
We're
bringing
gonna
in?
bring in Dodge.
You
Come
can
on in,
open, you can
Dodge.
open the door.
There you go. Dodge is another long timer. How long has Dodge been here? Dodge came in
4 years.
January of 2022.
Okay. Yeah, so almost 3 years now Dodge
Yeah.
has been here.
Yep.
But very energetic, Dodge.
Very-
He's really not.
He's just excited.
Just watch. Sit. Come on. I know. Yes.
Michaela is his BFF.
Oh,
So he does have a little crush on her.
I can see that.
He's really smart. If he's, hey, look at me.
He's just too excited,
He is.
right?
Oh, there you
Okay, give me a paw. Paw. Other paw.
Yeah.
Give me the other one. Lay down. No, down.
go.
Roll over.
See?
Roll over.
Oh, good job, buddy! Yay!
He's really smart.
Then, high energy, right? Bigger dog, so
He's not typically high. I mean, I
No?
think once he
it's just excited.
right, he's very excited right now. I think that
He's
if
with his
he-
girlfriend, right? So he gets
Exactly.
he's on a date
Who's
with
not
his girlfriend.
excited,
Yes.
But given he's probably what 6 years old or so. So he's not,
Okay, he's not
a young
puppy
pup,
energy.
nope.
Yeah.
So I think if once he decompressed in a home after being in a shelter for so long, I think he'd be a cuddle buddy. I think he'd be like sit on the couch with you and hang out.
Well, I see. Right now, once he got calm, once he got
Yeah.
acclimated,
Yeah.
he just wants to be, have that human contact, right?
Yep.
He
Yeah.
definitely needs an active home.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got energy, right? But not unhealthy energy.
No,
just,
not puppy
No.
energy.
Yeah.
He's not.
Not
Yeah.
like overbearing. He likes
Yeah.
to swim as well.
He likes to.
And hike. Yep,
Okay.
he's a water dog.
All right.
When he swims, there's a video of on our look through our Facebook page. He looks like a dolphin jumping in and out of the water.
That is awesome. And he's got the tail wagging, right? So we talked about he's just loving life right now. He's out on a
Absolutely.
date, right?
Yep.
And so good for Dodge. So
He actually was, I think, briefly. There was a gentleman that was a single man who adopted him briefly. You
Yeah.
might have seen him, his adoption story on our page, but he was returned. So it was an older gentleman who I think took on more than he could handle. So he made the decision to return him and find a better fit for him.
Sure.
So no fault of Dodge and no fault to the adopter. It just wasn't a good match. So we moved forward, but we learned a little bit about him, and he got some time out of the shelter. So he's
so
no
still
worse
a
for the
win,
wear.
right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, right. Any time out of the shelter, in a home, right? Warm bed, all that kind of
Yep,
stuff.
get some more information.
Yeah,
Let us
exactly.
know how they do. So even like same with the fostering, even if it's for a week or two, that's still gathering information about them and how they are in a home.
Okay.
It's a little vacation from the shelter.
Yeah, we all like a good
We
vacation.
all like vacation.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Dodge.
Thanks,
Say
bye,
hi,
Dad.
Dad. Give
Bye-bye.
paw. Give paw.
Oh, you jump. Hi, yeah, thank you. Goodbye. See you, buddy. Kind of looks like a dolphin too.
Yeah.
Little puppies.
So before we were just talking about partnerships, right? So talk about you just posted a story, right, with the Bark Institute and some of that partnership that you have going on.
Yep. So we when we were really overfull this past summer, we did some offsite training or offsite boarding with Bark Institute. So they have a board and train program, which they were very successful in getting a couple of our dogs adopted. Not only that, though, this most recent board and train dog was Georgia, and so they saw a potential in Georgia to be a search dog. So they went through all the training with her and reached out to the Search Dog Foundation, who then actually took Georgia.
Wow.
So she's out in California now at the Search Dog Foundation and working on that program, and so that's just fantastic, from shelter dog to search dog.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to give you that feel good,
Absolutely.
in your heart, right? That this dog came in, right, and not only did it find its way out of the shelter, but now potentially helping save lives, right,
Yep.
into the future too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I know we've done a little bit with the Bark Institute and had some success there too. So it's a nice way to just keep
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, they're very supportive.
Yeah,
They've
keep
been-
that going.
Yeah, they've between the adoptions and also just fostering too. We've had some long-term fosters
Yes.
with them, both at Bark Institute and then them finding kind of third-party fosters to work with. They've been a great partner, and the board and train program that they have has also worked out for. I think we've sent 2 dogs, and 2 dogs have moved on to their permanent homes
Which is
right
the
from
goal.
there. And
And
Yeah.
one dog who wasn't even in the board and train, Lionel. So
Oh, yes, right,
so
yeah.
they were responsible for his adoption. So they're just a great group that really is dedicated to helping shelter dogs.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So we have anybody else joining
I
us?
think we have a couple
Yeah.
cats.
I think actually this is one more
one more
dog
dog.
for us.
Okay.
So this is Elsa.
Oh, Elsa
Look
makes
at
sense.
Elsa,
Yes.
beautiful Siberian Husky. I cannot tell you why this dog is still here. She is crate trained. She is sweet. She is friendly. Right, pretty girl?
Wow, she's
Elsa.
beautiful.
Hi.
Look at those blue eyes
Yeah, you're a
too.
good girl.
Yeah, so calm, right?
She is.
Yeah.
She's very vocal. She has that husky talk. So
Okay.
she kind of gives you that little howl. The only caveat is she can't live with cats. So she's not a fan of cats, but
Okay.
she has met other dogs. She's met tons of people. She's very, very friendly. How old is Elsa, Erin?
She can't be any more than 2 years. She's young. She still has all that puppy energy in her.
Okay, so no more than 2
She
years.
is good with kids too.
Do you think she's going to grow a little bit more?
Not taller, just probably wider.
Wider. She is a beautiful.
She is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a good girl.
And then
She's
other
very
than no cats, right? Anything
Right.
else you?
No, that's really it. I mean,
Okay.
she needs to go for walks. She needs exercise.
Sure, as
Huskies
any
are super
good-
smart.
Yeah.
So people don't. We get a lot of huskies in the shelter. So I mean, they are smart. They can open gates. They can escape very, So just somebody who's
She-
going to dedicate their time to knowing the breed.
She's going to challenge her owner in a good way, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Keep you on your feet, keep
Yep.
your mind moving, all that good stuff,
Yep,
right?
yep.
Maybe a recent retiree who needs to keep thinking, right?
Yeah.
And keep using their brain. She is beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's important also. We get a lot of strays in, and residents, if you don't have your animal microchipped, it's really, really important, because that if they do end up here, it's something that we're required to do it, but our ACOs search for microchips on all of the animals when they come in to make sure that if it is registered, that we can contact the owner and reunite them as well. And then it's also important to, if let's say you move, that you update the microchip, because then we can match it with the most correct information or the most current address, and get your animal back sooner, or and hopefully it's not lost, because that's unfortunately we get all of our animals, or the vast majority they come in as strays. So
Yeah.
we'd love to see them get reunited with their owners.
And she just looks like she wants all sorts of petting, right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Some of the others were all about kisses, but she just wants to be petted the
Yes.
whole time.
Yeah.
And now as it gets colder, right? She'll keep you warm.
Yes, yeah, she'll keep you warm. Huskies, they have an undercoat, so they it insulates them from heat and from cold. So
Oh, okay.
they're durable in both all weather.
All right.
She's an all weather dog.
Oh, I love it. I love it. All right. Anything else on Elsa we want to share?
No, she's available for foster or adoption. But I warn you, if you foster her, you may fall in love.
I can see why. I can definitely see why. Nice and calm, right?
She's a sweetie.
Yeah.
Elsa.
Now she just wants to play.
Let's go. Let's go on the walk.
All right. Thank you, Elsa.
Thank you, Erin.
All right. And now maybe a cat or two,
We do have-
right?
Yep, I believe we have 2 cats lined up. So
Now, are you fostering? I know we talked about the looking for fosters for dogs. Do you do fosters to cats, or or is it really just adopt or?
we
or
do.
not?
We have
Okay.
a couple of cats in foster. Majority of them are usually the like foster to adopt. When
Yep.
they're not fixed yet and they're pending a spay and neuter date. But we do have a few. With some of our kitties are shy or need socialization. So having, or we have this one kitty. His name is B Rabbit. He's white and he is naughty. So he was a single bottle baby, and he grew up without any siblings or mother who didn't teach him how to behave properly around other cats. So he would be great to foster with a cat in a home already who could beat him up and show him not to be sassy.
Yeah, and then we also have a few fosters who help us out when we have super little kittens as well,
Yes.
and with bottle fed, because
Bottle babies.
that takes round the clock service,
Sure.
which is not something that we really can do here.
Yes.
So having fosters lined up who are willing to help out with that, or be trained, or if they can host mom and her kitties just to have be outside the shelter for a little bit while they grow and stuff
And
like
if,
that.
yes, if anybody, I spoke with one of our best bottle baby fosters is actually a veterinarian, Dr. Lloyd at North Star, and she's incredible with bottle babies, and she'd be happy to help anybody who's interested and wants to learn to be a bottle baby
Okay.
foster. We don't have a lot of bottle babies this time of year because cats are seasonal breeders, so
Mm-hmm.
usually it's in the spring and summer, but you never know, they still
Yeah. You never know what nature
never
brings,
know.
right?
Absolutely.
That's
Yes.
All right. Good stuff. And then anything else as we're waiting for some of the cats, right? At this time of year specifically, you want to talk about, bring up, right?
Well, I mean, we are closing out at the end of the year, so it's always important for residents, especially our dog owners specifically, to remember that dog licensing starts in January in the new year. So, so be on the lookout. So, if you have your current license with us, you should be getting an email in the beginning of the year, because we open up licensing starting January 1. So you should get an email to your email account if we have one with you to renew, and you can do that all online. You don't have to come to the shelter. You can do it all through our online process.
And if I can add,
Yeah.
we're not renewing a dog license for 2025 until 2025. We've
Yes.
had people already coming to the shelter. Thank you very much for that effort, but we cannot renew your license until 2025. So,
All
Yes.
And then, right now, right, things are getting colder outside. What about some of the wildlife still out there? Like, what are you seeing? What are you getting in? Like, what's going on just that way, too?
Yeah, I'm sure as people drive around, you see, unfortunately, deer on the side of the road. So, we do have a process. We have a vendor who actually comes in and picks up the deer for us. So, really just call it in, unless it really needs to be picked up right then and there. It usually takes about 24, maybe 48 hours max, depending on when it gets called in. But we log it, we send it to our vendor. He goes around, he picks up the deer, and then disposes them properly. If it's on a county or state road, those agencies actually take. They're the ones responsible for it. So if it's on a county road or state highway, that we'll contact the state or
Yeah,
county departments to come pick it up. But it does take some time. So I know that we sometimes get multiple calls, requests for the same deer, but unless it really needs to be picked up right then and there.
Sure.
And,
Yes.
we can all kind of imagine what that would look like.
Yeah.
Then our
Or
ACOs.
if it's in the road or
Yes,
something
or if
like
it's a
that.
safety hazard, then our ACOs go and take care
and
of it.
usually our ACOs will mark their deer with a blue X, I believe, a blue.
let-
If you see a blue mark, it's already been called in
Yeah.
and scheduled for pickup.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
So who's Noel got here?
Hi, Noelle. Who do we have? This is
Seymour.
Marky Mark.
Marky Mark. So Marky Mark looks like an adult cat, right? But very calm.
What can you tell me about his personality?
He's really sweet. He's a little playful. He does like other cats and everything, and overall he's sweet.
I don't know if
He's a
anybody can
big-
see that
he's a
cute
big
face.
sweetheart.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
looks like
Maybe
it.
turn a little towards the camera so
Yeah,
they can
look
see.
at that belly. He's so cute.
Yeah.
Looks a
So,
little cuddle bug.
yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So cats are known, right, doing their own thing, wanting their own thing, but to get one that wants to be around other cats,
Yeah,
right?
obviously this cat's been in a home
Yeah,
previously.
exactly.
So he'll be, we're hoping that the veterinarian will clear him to move to adoption this weekend.
Oh, wow.
Or this Friday when she comes in. Our vet comes in and she, clears everybody. So he's not available yet, but if you're interested, you better get that application in
And look,
for Marky
Noel,
Mark.
you get all the kisses, no matter what animal you bring, right?
Oh, so was my-
Yeah, I love it. But you could just tell, right? He's okay being held. He's okay giving kisses and being loved, right?
Aw.
He's gonna find himself a nice warm
Yes.
house and make
he,
an
he
owner
knows, he
very
knows
happy.
he's on camera.
Yes.
He's working it.
Yeah.
He is, like, aw.
I saw him reaching for Danielle
He's
too,
sweet,
right?
yeah.
He's a sweetheart. Absolutely. How old about do you think?
I would say maybe like a year.
Okay.
Maybe under a year.
All right. So you can have Marky Mark here for a long time in your
Yeah.
house
Yeah.
to have a lot of kisses,
Oh,
a lot
yeah,
of love,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's really good. And beautiful color. I love the color too. So thank you, Noel.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marky Mark.
Yeah, he's a sweet boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outside
he's
of
a-
dogs and cats, I know every time I'm here, there's always something unique, right? So any unique animals
We
here
don't
right
have
now?
anything besides dogs and cats right now. We have one rabbit in foster. One of our friends in the health department is fostering
Okay.
our rabbit extraordinaire. She's got Alice, a black and white bunny rabbit, who's in foster and ready to be adopted, already fixed. So
All right. And who's Aaron got here?
Aaron, I believe, has Tulip.
Yep.
So Tulip, I believe, correct me if I'm
Owner
wrong.
surrender.
Right, was surrendered, I think adopted and returned, right? If you want to just, for the camera, this is Tulip, a little calico. She's very sweet and petite. You can see that she looks a little nervous.
She looks a little nervous.
She's
yeah.
shaking. I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys can see that on camera. So she's being a little nervous. But she's obviously a very calm, docile
Yeah.
kitty, very friendly. How old is she?
She's only a couple years,
Yeah.
I think maybe 2 to 3. And she gets a little stressed out around little ones. So
Okay.
some older kids would be okay, but some little youngins
She obviously
running around her.
doesn't mind being
Cougar.
held. You're a
Yeah,
sweetheart.
look at her.
Aw.
Aw.
The kitties you got on today, they just want to be loved and
Yeah.
held and everything, right?
So I believe Tulips are, oh,
She is
shaking.
nervous, yes.
I think, she was adopted from here in return, so she is already spayed. The doctor should clear her on Friday, and then she'll be ready to go to her new home anytime.
Okay.
Tulip, so if you're applying online, make sure you mention Tulip.
And not a public speaker or one for television, so we'll get her off the TV and back to her comfort spot.
Oh,
But
yeah.
two great kitties. We have Marky Mark and Tulip here, so very docile.
Thank you, Erin.
Thank you, Erin.
So we're winding down kitten season. We don't have too many kittens available, but there are still a few. You know, every year in December, folks want kittens. And cats being seasonal breeders, we don't always have a lot of kittens, but there are a lot of cats here needing homes, even young adults.
So again, right, I talked about in the beginning, looking for a great Christmas present, can't think of anything, come on down to the Hamilton shelter, take a look at some of the dogs or cats, depending what you're looking for, because they've got pretty much everything, right? All right. Any other animals to
No,
highlight
I think that
right
was
now?
that's
That's perfect.
selection
So,
for today.
Danielle, Chris, want to thank you guys for what you do each and every day. Want to thank WBCB 1490 AM for allowing us to highlight some of the animals here, talk about some of the improvements at the shelter, and talk about what we need you for, right? Whether it's fostering, especially now while the construction's going on, starting December 9th, whether it's now adopting, right? Not maybe it's a holiday present, maybe it's not. And then always looking for volunteers, or if you think you want a little part-time job, come on down as well. So thank you again for joining us. Have a great holiday, and we'll talk to you next time.